So today I wanted to go over real quick the top 10 questions I get from people that just see me out and about that have a question about the car or anything. So let's get right into it. First question I do get is, what kind of car is that? A lot of people still aren't very familiar with Tesla, that I have noticed. And a lot of people do still ask, what kind of car is it? It's Tesla. Another big question is, can you only drive 100 miles on a charge? The answer is no. That would be the Nissan Leaf, which actually gets about 107 miles per charge. The Bolt gets about 238, and Teslas vary. So the S will get about 259 to 335. The X will get about 237 to 295. And the 3 will get about 220 to 310 miles range. However, that does vary depending on battery sizes. There are smaller batteries that they offered that they no longer offer. And also there's talk that the 75, which is the current low range for the S and the X, will be disappearing. So that might change here again. It is ever evolving, but that is what it is at the current state. How long does it take to charge? The superchargers will give you roughly 170 miles in 30 minutes. But that will vary depending on the level of your battery. If you're almost full, it's obviously not going to be that fast. It tapers down as your battery gets fuller so that it doesn't overcharge your battery or stress it. Other options at home will be up to 53 miles per hour using the high power wall charger, and that is available through Tesla. Another big question I get is, what do I use to charge at home? So we just had 1450 outlets installed in the garage, and those are currently what we use with our universal mobile connector, and so far it's worked out great. We do only get about 20 miles per hour of charge. However, that's not really an issue because on a daily basis I probably only go about 30 miles. David probably only goes about 10, maybe 15, so it's really not an issue with our charging at the moment. If we ever need to, we could easily upgrade to the high power wall connectors. Why is the Model S and X so expensive? So I've gone over this a few times. These are their premium vehicles with the longest range, the most tech, and have always kind of been their startup vehicle besides the Roadster. The Roadster was really just a proof of concept, whereas the S and the X are a car that they mass produced to be able to gain profit in which they are now turning into Model 3s. Model S and X will always be more premium vehicles. They probably have a larger profit margin on them, yada yada yada. But on that token, the Model 3s are coming out and they'll be starting at $35,000, so that'll definitely help alleviate any pricing issues that people have had. Why did I buy a Tesla? So again, there's a lot to this question. I had several cars before. My last car, actually before I bought my first Tesla, was a Ford Fusion Hybrid. Thoroughly enjoyed that car for the most part. Wasn't without its issues, but really the next logical step was full electric, and all the other options, I hate to say it, I did not like how they looked, flat out. I just didn't think they were attractive at all, and the range was too limited. There were too many cons. Now, yes, they have improved over the years, and the new Nissan Leaf is supposed to be incredible looking, but Tesla was the right choice for me at the right time. I really wanted a Roadster back in the day, but it wasn't very feasible. So as soon as it became feasible, I jumped right in and haven't missed a beat. I absolutely love my Tesla. I wouldn't trade it in for the world. Can you sleep while on autopilot? No, please don't try it. That is not advised. It is not what you're supposed to do with autopilot. Now, in the future, when full self-driving becomes available, maybe, I don't know. Now, in the future, when full self-driving becomes available, which I have already purchased, so hopefully we start seeing some differences soon, maybe, but for now, please don't sleep while you're on autopilot. Please don't watch a movie. Technically, it does still say it's in beta and you have to have your hands ready to take over the wheel at all times. How safe is the car really? There's no engine, so where does all the crumple zone go? Well, actually, Teslas are safer than cars with engines, because a car with a typical gas engine, the crumple zone is a lot smaller. Teslas have almost 3+ times the crumple zone than a typical gas car. Reason being, there's no engine, so they can make the crumple zone that much bigger. And Teslas have been awarded 5 stars. Literally, the number 1 safest car is the Model S, number 2 is the Model X, and number 3 is likely to be the Model 3. If you're looking for a safe car, Tesla's got you. So the biggest question I'm getting actually right now is, when is the Model 3 gonna come out? If I order today, when will I get it? I really only have the dates for myself because as a current owner, and since I put the reservation on day 1, my timeline is as follows. If I want a first production car, which is the long range battery premium upgrades package, it will be here roughly October to December 2017. That's in a few months. That's pretty incredible. If I wanted a standard range battery, that would be here December 2017 to February 2018. If I wanted the dual motor, which is actually what I'm holding out for, that will arrive roughly in May to July of 2018. There you kind of have it. That's for me. If you order now though and are not a current owner, it probably is not going to be till the end of 2018, maybe even early 2019. So if you're on the fence about a Model 3, my advice would be to put in your $1,000 deposit sooner than later. It is fully refundable in case you decide to cancel, but at least that holds you a spot in line. But that does kind of transition me into my final question, is what's better, the Bolt, the Leaf, or the Model 3? That's kind of another fully loaded question. It really depends on what works for you. If you need a car absolutely right now and a Model S and X are out of the question, obviously a Bolt or a Leaf would suffice. And at least that way, you know you get your tax credits, you know you get everything. They're not bad cars, it's just they have a more limited range. They don't have the tech, they don't have the premium feel as the Tesla. But they still do work just fine. So if you had to have an electric car right now and your decision was between a Bolt or a Leaf, look at it this way. The Bolt does have a 238 mile range, whereas the Leaf only has 107. So that's a big selling point right there. A Leaf is pretty limited when it comes to range at the moment. If you wanted something like Autopilot and that was a dead set factor, obviously wait for the Model 3. Bolt and the Leaf do not have anything that comes close to that. So if Autopilot is something on your must-have list, definitely try to hold out for the Model 3 if you can. It's an excellent car. I've seen it in person. If you haven't seen that video, I'll put it in the link description. Check it out. Got to ride in it, got to do everything. It was awesome. So be sure to check that out. Okay, so those are the top 10 questions that I get asked about the car in general. So those are the top 10 questions I get asked in public. I went through some of the comments and these are the top 10 questions that I tend to see from you guys. So let's go ahead and hit those up real quick. Do I work for Tesla? No, I do not. I would love to, maybe one day, you never know. Weirder things have happened. But as of right now, I do not, and I'm not really affiliated with them in any such way. The only thing I really get from them is referral prizes. So if you use my referral link, you get $1,000 off and free unlimited supercharging, and I get some prizes along the way. So that is pretty much the only thing I've gotten from Tesla. What are your impressions on the Model 3? I love it. It is a beautiful car. It's got some extra cool tech. The air vents were awesome. Why did I wrap my Tesla? Well, I don't like to conform to what everybody else has, and I like crazy off-the-wall things. I've done mods to my previous cars and figured why not carry it over to the Tesla. Decided to go ahead and wrap this one because it had the color effect that I really wanted and really like. How many mods have you done to your Tesla and what's your favorite? That's gonna be a video coming up soon too. My favorite is probably just wrapping the car. I'm really happy with how it came out and it looks so nice. That kind of goes into, why did you wrap your car the same as Tanner Fox's? It is not the same. I have confirmed it. He actually has, I believe he mentioned it was Rising Sun and then they coated it with some stuff. It is not the same. Mine is an off-the-shelf wrap, so it is not the same, but it is similar. I'll give you that. Maybe later this year when I'm in California, I'll see if I can stop by and we can grab a photo of the two cars next to each other, but I assure you they are different. I hate your UMC in your garage. When are you getting rid of it? So I actually use the mobile connector to charge my Tesla in my garage, and it's not, I guess, the most sightly for people. A lot of people use the high power wall charger. So anyway, that is another video coming up. Something's gonna happen with it. That's all I can really say at the moment. What do you record most of your videos on? So I use a couple things. I use the Sony AX53, I use the Sony 5100, I use my DJI Mavic. Those are probably my top 3, but I also do use a bunch of GoPro Hero 5 Blacks. Why did I get a Tesla? Well, I kind of already talked about that. I love them. They're amazing cars. 0 to 60, the instant torque, no emissions. The list goes on and on and on, but those are some of my top choices. What issues have you had with your Tesla? So actually my first Tesla, I had the humming headlights, and those were easily replaced by Tesla. They had no problem replacing them. The first of the refreshed Model S's had some humming headlights occasionally, so they replaced those no problem. Oh, and on my first one they had to adjust one of my front fenders, but I don't think I've had any issues with this one. I mean, I needed some rear emblems because I tore the other ones off to wrap it. I wanted them painted, blah, blah, blah. But no, I don't think I've had any issues with this one. But service has always been excellent for me. I haven't gotten into a car accident though, so I can't speak on those terms. So the last question is, how are the white seats holding up? They're holding up beautifully. I love these white seats. This synthetic is certainly premium to leather, I feel, my opinion. I really enjoy the synthetics. They haven't stretched out any like the leather did. They hold up great. I haven't had any stains on them like blue jeans or anything, but I don't really wear blue jeans. Most of mine are like a stoned wash, but I do wear like black jeans occasionally, and none of that's wiped off on my seats. They're just super soft. I've never had a seat so soft. Highly recommend it. If you haven't tried it, go to a store and feel them for yourself because they are awesome. Okay, so that is all I have for you guys today. Hopefully that answers some of the questions you may have had. If you are looking for a Tesla, feel free to check out our website, teslainventory.com. We break out all of Tesla's new inventory and certified pre-owned cars, and you can search by any option code they've ever had. It's super easy to use and 100% free, so feel free to check it out. And if you are looking for a newer inventory model, feel free to use the referral code at the top of the website, and in doing so you will get $1,000 off as well as free unlimited supercharging, which is an awesome deal, and in turn you will help get us reward prizes, so any help is certainly appreciated. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me and I am happy to help. Definitely thumbs up if that helped answer some of your questions. Go ahead and click here to subscribe, here for some more videos, and I'll see you guys on Friday. Bye.
I used to be the type to never take the chance, oh, had so many walls you'd think I was a castle.
Okay, we got the Reese's Donuts. We're gonna try those out later.